Holy cow. Straight ahead is the Wyndham Resort. Well, was the Wyndham Resort. Right next to Chewy's and the Starbucks on International Drive. And right over here is where Spooky Empire happened every year. They were always here. They were either here, the Doubletree, sometimes down further at the Orange County Convention Center. But this Wyndham Hotel right here was always Spooky Empire to me. And now they have almost completely leveled it. They're still out there working right now. You can see the Orlando Eye in the distance. And I got way too much sun at Epcot yesterday. Got some Gatorade Zero, a nice hat to block the UV rays, and my new Epcot shirt. I'm so excited about my new Epcot shirt. And Adam is here today. We're gonna be walking around International Drive and seeing a bunch of stuff. A lot of stuff has changed on International Drive. It's been a while since I've actually done a video walking around there, and I'm glad I'm gonna have Adam with me because he shares that similar interest of things of yesteryear on International Drive. This is gonna be an exciting day. The weather is beautiful. 59 degrees right now. I'm happy. Now, let's take a closer look. I never stayed here, but I knew a lot of people who did. This is where they would have the VIP parties, after hours parties of Spooky Empire. Was back here by the pool. And those were cool because depending on who it was, like a lot of celebrities would come out to those VIP pool parties and hang out. You could like totally party with Anthony Michael Hall. You know what I mean? Or the cast of Child's Play or something. Like really, really cool stuff. But it's weird to be over here and seeing it completely gone except for the staircase. They always leave those like last. I guess the elevators and staircases are a little more difficult. I wonder if the pool is like filled in or something. Yeah, you would go through here. And all this were big rooms. I saw Christopher Lloyd in there do a panel. Butch Patrick, Matthew Lillard, Linda Blair, the cast of The Addams Family, Alice Cooper. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Who else have I've seen so many in there. The cast of the Blair Witch Project with Adam. That was really cool. I don't want to talk too much about this because I have a feeling Adam and I are going to talk heavily about this, but the amount of talent, celebrities that I've met inside these walls is kind of crazy. Absolutely crazy.
I was driving the side by Ripley's.
I drove in this side and I missed this.
It's weird not seeing it, so it makes me think the whole place is closing.
Yeah, Cooper's Hawk I think would be the only thing that would hold on unless they relocate. By the way, hey buddy.
Hello.
2 days in a row. I've eaten here many times. Abby and I love this place.
It's connected to the Wyndham.
Yep.
Fun fact, in 2008, the first time I ever went to it, they had a Dawn of the Dead reunion. And right here on the corner is where I met the Godfather of Gore. Herschel Gordon Lewis right there.
Dude.
Right on that very corner.
No way.
2008.
That's amazing, dude.
He was out there just walking in.
I met Linda Blair right there. I held the door open for her as she was walking in. I met Alice Cooper. Remember we saw Alice Cooper? My buddy was a big fan of his and he's totally like froze. My buddy Robbie. This car is still honking. He's inside. I don't think he knows what he's doing. Yeah, right here. Linda Blair was walking through that door. I was standing right there. I also met Chris Farley's brother from Black Sheep, Mike Donnelly. He was doing the Animal House reunion. I forget his name. He was in the Brady sequel too. But he was walking by right here and I yelled, "Vote for Donnelly!" And he lost it. He just started laughing. He was like, "Yeah!" I think he was just, nobody was talking about that movie.
Did you cartwheel?
I should have. Excuse me, ma'am. Vote for Donnelly. Yeah, this was always the hangout spot right here. My friends who smoke would always stand out here and smoke. I don't smoke, but I just hung out. And, oh yeah, dude, the drummer of the Misfits asked me for a cigarette right over there. He just recently passed away, too. He was here doing signing with Slim Jim from Stray Cats. They were both here.
But speaking of people who passed away, there was a viral video of Corey Haim outside smoking, and I think it was right here.
Sean, I think Sean was here. Because I know...
He was like right here or over there smoking, somewhere on this curve.
That's crazy, dude.
Sure
the video's on YouTube.
Yeah.
I know that video very well. That's crazy.
Come out here and smoke on the curb and then
right.
Come back in.
Yeah, that was the thing. If you ever wanted to see what celebrities smoked, they usually were hanging out here. I met Rico Browning from Creature from the Black Lagoon several times here. I got him to sign my Creature from the Black Lagoon poster and then my Revenge of the Creature action figure. He got a kick out of that one. Talked to Danielle Harris here about filming Roseanne. It is. It's like, I wonder if there's anything left over from Spooky. All through there.
They haven't started tearing this down.
Yeah. It's open. That door is open. You know, that's sad, man. I mean, how many mornings have we stood out just like this? Seen people standing, lined up all the way down, standing here to go into Spooky Empire. Dang. Yeah, this is where you would walk up. Someone left their cup. There you would walk up right here. Straight ahead would take you to the where they would do the Q&As. And the tattoo, all the tattoo convention stuff. A lot of this stuff's going away around here, like Fishbones across the way is closed. The Popeyes is still holding on. I've crossed that street many times and gone to Popeyes. It's crazy.
Yeah. Wait for the these are open.
I didn't check to see if any of those were open. But this is people use this as a cut through so they can get past all the traffic. That's like a local thing. Yeah, right across the way there. That's the backside. Oh no. You're not supposed to litter Chewies. You're supposed to eat it and throw it away. Yeah, straight ahead was the pool. It was like a whole resort over there. They had like a tiki bar, the pool. Yeah, by the way, Spooky Empire has not stopped. They've got some conventions actually coming up this next few months, it seems. They're always doing something. I love Spooky Empire. Twice a year. They just had to move because the Wyndham is gone. Look at that, Gatorville. That was the name of the tiki thing, I want to say. Gatorville. That was it. And this is the sign coming off of International Drive. This is Sand Lake right here. It's crazy. It's just the shell, all the light foot, light wiring and everything. I wouldn't touch that, but it was called Gatorville. That's what the pool area was called. Gatorville. They had a ton of gators. It was like a tiki shack. I think that was it over there, man. Straight ahead. Yep, that's it. That was what's left of the shack. Yeah. It was cool. There's the sign still up there. It's crazy how like something that, a million people, I wouldn't say a million, but thousands of people would come out here, celebrities, guests, vendors, and this place would light up for the weekend. And then it would kind of just be quiet around here.
They did have the convention center. They had other stuff too, but I think that was the most people showed up for that event.
When Corey Taylor from Slipknot showed up and the amount of people who came who had never been to a convention but they wanted to meet Corey, that was cool to see their reactions. Because it was just like normal fans of Slipknot walking in. They're like, wait a minute. Yeah.
I could buy a horror film t-shirt here?
Yeah, you mean I can dress up like Slipknot and meet him? I didn't know. I love that stuff.
It doesn't make any sense because no one can stay in here.
Yeah, those ballrooms are pretty big. It is cool to see like what's left, what's like, how interesting. Do they just stop at a certain part and they're like, I can no longer claw anymore? You know what's funny, man? At all the Spooky Empires I went to, when I would get thirsty, I never thought to walk over here to this Wawa.
I went over there every time.
I never did that.
The last 3 years, this is where I went.
Oh my gosh. I didn't even get the memo from you. I didn't even think to do that.
Yeah.
I would just be thirsty.
I always go on the Saturdays. We go over there and grab a couple coffees.
Yeah.
My coffee spot.
That's so genius because Starbucks was hell. Well, this is a great opening right here. Staircase is still here on this. I'm telling you, staircases,
Cool, right?
staircases and elevators are always the last thing to go.
That's pretty cool looking.
It is. And then that couch right there, a little chair. Across the street of Sand Lake on International Drive, and this was Perkins. It's nothing but a memory now too. I feel like everything on this side is going away, man. The only thing holding on is the Popeyes, Hogan's, and the Burger King.
Hogan's Beach Shop's gonna be.
I know.
Because the big one's down in Sarasota. That's
Yeah.
his main pub, and then the bar next door, he does karaoke every night.
That's right.
Once a week.
That's
It's
right.
just kind of an old 7-Eleven they renovated. But.
Yep.
Oh,
and
it's not called Hogan's Beach Shop anymore.
Oh, no?
It's called Hogan's something shop.
Hogan's Wrestling Shop.
They changed the name.
Because it's not a beach thing around here. And it works out in where he does it. Where is that? Sarasota or St. Pete? Sarasota. It would work out there. This is not beachy at all. I will say every time I go by, I'm like, there's 7-Eleven. And then the building down there is from Problem Child too.
That's right.
When they come out.
Yeah.
Look at that. The sign just has been emptied out. I can see the Perkins sign from where the sun was hitting on it there. And Hogan's Wrestling Shop is here. This is an old 7-Eleven. He's still on the shark. It's interesting that this is open, but I will say I see a ton of people in Orlando wearing Hulkster shirts, Hollywood Hogan. I loved Hollywood Hogan. Hollywood Hogan was so great. A lot of people have different opinions on Hulk Hogan now, though. The backside here of Hogan's. And over here used to be an old fun spot, like one of the first fun spots. And they had a big go-kart track over there. Hogan's Wrestling Shop. Hollywood Hogan and regular Hulkamania Hogan. Good guy and heel. I loved them both. I really did. I stepped inside. Look, there's Jimmy Hart right there. A Walt Wizard. I wonder if that's not life size in the movie, I guess. They have so many Hollywood Hogan stuff in there. I love it. I loved Hollywood Hogan, man. Best heel ever. There's a lot of history of Hogan in Florida. I filmed a lot of movies here, including Mr. Nanny. That was filmed all in Tampa, St. Pete area. He also did a lot of stuff at the Disney MGM Studios. Filmed at Epcot with Thunder in Paradise. We're going to continue walking down I-Drive. What you gonna do, brother, when the 46 pythons, the 46-inch pythons.
6-inch pythons?
I don't know what he would say. Hulkamania's gonna run havoc on Orlando, brother. Yeah, Problem Child too. Yeah, they walked out and they had those the flags. They walked out here. It's the same looking shell of the building.
Never goes away.
Me too, because every time I pass by this, I always think of the song, "Only the Strong Survive." Okay, this used to be the putt-putt part, the midway, the magical midway. And the whole thing has been gone, but I'm really surprised that they got rid of the building that was right here, the ticket building. Oh yeah, you can totally see in here now. Oh my gosh.
This was the original swings on I-Drive.
Yep.
Before Icon Park. Go-kart track.
Yep.
Is this where the Gator Golf was? Or is
Next
this over
door.
there?
Next door.
Next door.
But right here, as you're walking, right up there was where the golf cart was hanging over. Like it looked like it was hanging over, gonna fall off the track. And right down here was where you could stand and see the grand entrance to the magical midway. Man, this is crazy. Yeah, it did. Man. Pizza Hut's closed.
I can't tell. Maybe it's open.
Yeah, maybe the Pizza Hut. Well, it says for lease.
So walk over there and look.
Yep. Yeah, right. Like right here. Was the main entrance to the magical Midway thing. Yeah, this is where you would walk up to the front of the magical Midway arcade. Right over there was the slingshot.
They're always changing. The thing is, it's nicer now than it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there was an era 10, 15 years ago where it was really bad.
Yeah, it was rough looking over here. Wow. I mean, man, the last time I was here, they were working on this. Back there were all the different attractions, and the big slingshot was through there. Now this ticket booth is still open. But I used to come and park right down here. That's unbelievable. It's completely gone. I love people talking smack as they drive by on their electric vehicle. Could be the I Drive Churro stand. That's what Adam and I are gonna start here. We got all kinds of electricity here and cables. We can hook up a TV unit, I'm sure. We got some lights. I think it'll be fine. I'm not gonna touch these, but they're dangling, holding on. Can't get 1,000 gifts for $1.99.
Bring your shopping cart and have some fun, folks.
1,000 of them.
This is very.
It is cool, man.
Made out of, I thought it was meshed.
No.
It's little, what do you call these? Not screwed, but
like little
bolts.
Yeah, bolts. Well, look at his hair. It's like a bicycle chain on his hair. This is really cool, man.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So it probably never was green.
Heavy Metal Hulk.
Heavy Metal Hulk.
There it is. You got Heavy Metal Mickey, and here it is, Heavy Metal Hulk.
Mickey's gonna have a word with you, Hulk.
Yeah.
You don't want to see him angry. Do not steal his tagline.
See if they had Wet and Wild on that map over there, and they didn't. There's Magic Kingdom, and then Water Park, Medieval Times. Not sure where that is, and then the all the shopping. It was like a thing, or had a sports memorabilia, and that's why they had the guy out here who was originally like supposed to be like Michael Jordan holding the basketball.
Now he's like down that way.
Oh, really?
I think
they moved him
closer to Gods and Monsters.
Oh, wow! It's funny how these things. They did have a robot out here, yeah. And then they had a robot out here, and then they got rid of that. I don't think this place is open anymore, and they repainted the whole thing.
Picture there was a guy with a soccer ball right here, but that was originally Michael Jordan before that.
Right.
They changed it to a soccer player.
Yep. And then they changed it to where he had like African like native like things on. In Bargain Planet, this was painted by someone that I've talked about on this channel. Roland Dempsey. He paints a lot of this stuff on 192 and International Drive. I need to get with him. I would love to interview Roland. I believe Roland tried to reach out to me at one point. Roland, if you're watching, email me. Yeah, he did.
I've seen that alien look in years.
Yeah, he looks good.
I think he used to be holding a flag.
Yeah, I think that was a flagpole. The whole thing looks really good.
That's a fresh coat of paint.
I always thought that looked like Bart Simpson to me, like a Bart Simpson type alien. Well, you know, if you head down towards Festival Bay, they have that other soccer player, and this might have been a part of that. The football.
Look at his head.
No. He's huge.
His head's tiny.
He makes you look short.
He's buff.
Yeah, but his head is tiny.
I mean, that's like a size like 4.5 hat. Or a 7 5/8. He's very fit. Even has a little emblem here with a little soccer and tennis balls.
Sure does. This cow right here is saying that you can eat here for only $23.95, a steakhouse. That's utterly impossible. I did get to go in this before it closed. Oh yeah.
Frozen ice and some Italian ice. Just past Universal Boulevard, which would be down there.
Yep. Go down and take a left. I had Rita's for the very first time with my band, and we were in Philly. And the band we were on tour with, called Major League, they were like, "You never had Rita's?" We were like,
"To Rita's?"
Yeah, water ice.
That's sacrilegious in Philly.
We went to Rita's.
Philadelphia water ice that everyone wants there.
We got
Rita's.
We got Rita's, and it was a Swedish fish one.
Okay, very good. I love Rita's.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised if you were in Philly, you didn't go to Philadelphia water ice.
Didn't have water ice.
Maybe they didn't exist then. Maybe that's a new company.
I don't know. Maybe. I'm not sure. But I had the Swedish fish, Rita's.
I've had that flavor.
It was delicious. Oh yeah, you walk in here, and that's where you could get tickets. There's other stuff here on this side, but I don't know what's open and what's not anymore. Even if they have a sign, it doesn't mean it's open. Now this gift shop is open. This is the one that's open, the rocket ship one. And the owl up top, up there, it's fake. Look at that, a full footprint in the cement. That's funny. I wonder what this used to be.
That's definitely not open.
No. I used to think this was the Problem Child 2 Tasty Twisty Treat.
I always wonder what happened to the one from Florida Project on 192.
Yeah, the little lot is still there. You can see exactly where it was.
Is this it?
I don't know. It could be. I love them. I love that they are like, it reminds me of Gertie the dinosaur, that California crazy design style, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Florida has like some Florida things, and this is definitely one of them. It's good stuff. And you can get a Dole Whip here too. George's music. Yeah, I always thought George McFly.
George McFly's music.
Yeah, Marty and his dad started a music store, and they parked the DeLorean here. That's my story. I went in here a couple of times.
A year ago, there was a sign that said, "Coming soon, new store." Let's see what's going on.
Wow. I went in here a couple of times, bought guitar strings, just because I wanted to see what it looked like on the inside.
Yes. Here we go. Yeah, still here. This sign's been up for like over a year. Future home of Bear Hug Brewing.
Wow. Yeah, there's a sticker. It's changed. This was the old Orlando Circus School, and there's still like things remaining from those days. That's like the little trapeze spinning guys. See, you can see where they hold them. You gotta have a tight grip. Oh yeah? Suitcase here. Mattress. And a comfy couch. I want to say at one point this was also used for like a wrestling school. No way.
Little Coke machine. That's what the inside of a Coke machine looks like.
Yep.
I stocked many of these back in my retail days.
Did you?
Yep. The manager would tell me, fill the Coke machine out front. Go to the aisle, get Coke products, and then I would fill the machine. Close this back up. Spin that around. Lock it up.
These had Mountain Dew, Powerade, water, Aquafina, Monster, Brisk, Pepsi, and Coke. What is a cold drinks flavor? I wonder what that flavor is. Okay, when I first got my DSR camera, I came down here. My DSLR, I was filming right down here to test it out, and this was here the zombie.
One of your first videos?
Yeah, with that camera, not on my phone. This was the zombie apocalypse laser tag thing, and it opened, but I never got to see it.
Still got the windows all loaded up for the zombies.
And that True Leave, that's another dispensary. So you've got a dispensary over there, dispensary over here. Yeah, those used to have zombie faces on them.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. I was just telling Adam, this is the site. I've showed this a million times, but here's 1,000,001. The first hotel on International Drive, now the Coco Key Water Park Resort. But this is where Roy Disney, had a handshake agreement, and they trained the first cast members at Walt Disney World inside this hotel when they opened in 1971. None of this was here. And I did a video talking about this. And those hotel rooms right there are the original hotel rooms. They don't make them like that anymore. Unbelievable. I still want to stay here one day. I gotta be honest, this reminds me of the Pee-wee dinosaurs.
This is our own miniature, generic Cabazon.
Cabazon dinosaurs, yeah. Because it's just so random. Yeah, the plaque was here. This was the plaque. You can kind of see where it was.
Sorry, folks.
It's closed.
Dinosaur outside. Should have told you.
I love this guy, little tiki guys. Yeah, you can walk around. This is a moat. You can walk around the whole perimeter of this moat. Are you related to Gertie?
I gotta get that Gertie shirt.
Yeah. That's so cool. Yeah, I think you're right. I think someone maybe spray painted something they should not have right there. Like Butthead. Love this though, the main building. The men's sign is like so Polynesian. The font and everything. It's like a little tiki hut over there.
Oh, yeah, it is very, very Polynesian. I never noticed that.
Did you think this thing had like a ride? Because like you walk over the water, and it goes around the whole
I
thing.
think it was just a miniature golf course, and this was the moat.
Just made you feel like you were on an island.
Yeah.
Because you were.
But you're right. You know, you look at it this way, and it does kind of go through a tunnel.
It's wide enough that they could have had like a small
ride.
boat. Yeah.
Wow, I never noticed that.
Mm-hmm. And you walk over it there. I mean, it's big. Definitely could be like a lazy river thing. And there's so many caverns.
Here, if you want to start a business.
Yeah, that's true. Used to be a waterfall right through there.
Water hose and an inflatable canoe.
Right here's the old waterfall. Straight ahead. You can see where it like goes down like a slide that's been cut off. Is the raptor still here? It is. Yeah, you had to fully cross the water here on this very sketchy Indiana Jones style bridge. Not a bridge as sketchy as the one that you've done, my friend.
That one in Belize was pretty sketchy.
That was terrifying. Yeah, I don't know if this one would hold us. But this is massive, like we're this little waterway moat. Yeah, that's a scary velociraptor.
The thing is, though, one day we'll come by here, it'll all be completely bulldozed.
I know, it will be. It's going to be sad when they bulldoze this. I wonder if the people who stay at this Hampton Inn, when they're pulling up, they're like, oh, look. And then they realize
they can't.
Because see, look, you're staying right there. This is your view. It's a sight for sore eyes, but I love this kind of stuff. If I was traveling and I showed up next to an abandoned golf course place, I'm gonna go check this out. Let's see what Madame Ruby sees. And we made it to this side of International Drive now, where the Walt Disney World store is. Store.
Walt Disney World.
Store. This little asterisk down there. And to be honest with you, that Walt Disney World store over there was a lot bigger than Adam and I thought it was. I remember we were so disappointed because we thought it was going to be that entire bottom half of that building. And then we got here and it wasn't. But we're going to go eat lunch here at Chewy's. It's our tradition. It's our tradition. Got to see Elvis and get that burrito and some creamy jalapeno.
Double down on the creamy jalapeno.
Yes, every time.
That's the key. Never double dip. You can't double dip unless if you have the same pot. If you have your individual one, then no such thing as double dip.
That's right. That's true. I also know if people are friends of mine or not if they like this place. If they don't like this place, they are no friend of mine. You know what I'm saying, Elvis? What a fun day with Adam. International Drive is always changing, but it was fun walking around and eating at Chewy's today. The Wyndham had a lot of memories for us with Spooky Empire, but I'm excited to see and eager to see what exactly is going to happen over there. I will see you on the next adventure where Butch Patrick and I ride the monster coach all the way up and down International Drive. Till then, stay weird. Bye.